And every day you learn something new. This is a fuel line off a 62 Chrysler V8. This is the fuel line off of the 62 300H, the replacement fuel line, the one that does not have the upset on the end. But if you'll notice, the shape is quite different. And it turns out it goes back to the fuel pump. This is an original Type 62 fuel pump. That's your inlet, there's your discharge. What do you want to say? Discharge is 90 degrees to the inlet. This is a new fuel pump replacement. Got it from Rock Auto. Doesn't really matter, but this is what you're going to get most cases. Unless you send this one out for rebuild, you're probably going to come back and look at the angle. Maybe 45 degrees inlet to discharge. So if you were to take the standard 62 fuel line and connect it to your new fuel pump, well, having tried it, I can tell you it will not fit. It doesn't come out in the same location. You need a fuel line with this type of shape to make up for the difference 45 degrees to 90. Now we're not going to reuse this one because it would be fine if it had the flare on the end, and I can't find anybody local that'll make me a flare like that. So this happens to be a spare. I'm going to straighten it and turn it into this shape and put it on the new pump. So we have straightened the line so that it fits on the car, and I've wire brushed it and given it a clear coat. Now we'll assemble and finish up with that fuel pump. So we're completing the installation of the console cover with the retaining strap. And you see how the proper operation is when the door starts to close. The line flexes and it pivots on both ends.
Chrome washer and then the ferrule inside. So if you put this together and find it's binding, you need to take the ferrule out and invert it so that the large end is against the washer. But you'll be able to tell when you put it together, if it doesn't pivot smoothly when the fastener is tight, then the ferrule is in the wrong location.
What day did you say it is? Why, it's April 29th. Jeez. So I noticed that I couldn't get the battery hold down to work, and it just looked short. This is the one that was in the car. And that's the one that should be in the car. I don't know. Anyway, easy enough to replace it. We're going to need to pay some attention to the passenger side door. The cat whisker has come off. See? So we're going to replace the cat whisker. That'll require removal of the door panel, so I'll get a chance to see if this also needs a vapor barrier. And we can give it a good cleaning and lubricating while we're at it. Here's the interior back in. That only took 5 months. Well, no vapor barrier, but the door is in fantastic shape. One of the things I noticed on the driver's door that I didn't mention, power window motors, they're really not a good design in this early 60s. The motor just hangs off of this casting, and so as you open and close the door, the motor can do that, and eventually the casting breaks. In fact, you can see there's been a repair done to this one. But one of the smart things to do is to take a radiator clamp to a brace to the door and secure the motor so that it can't flop around, and it takes the fracture aspect off of this. I've heard from so many people, you know, they'll be at a meet or somewhere and close the door and they'll hear a thump and something heavy is rattling around in the bottom of the door, and it's the window motor. So that's a good idea. You can see that the window needs to come down a little bit more so that I can get more access here, and we need to loosen these two half-inchers so that we can get the vent window to free up the cat whisker. Now, in order to get the window down, these are the down stop screws. And with them loosened and down, you can see I can get the window low enough so I can get access to the cat whisker, which you can see is all beat up. And there's what the door looks like with the cat whisker removed. There are a bunch of slots along the door top, and here's the old whisker. Those are the whisker clips. So now that you have the cat whisker removed, where do you get your replacement? Well, here's what a replacement's going to look like. It comes with the clips already in it. This particular clip came from a guy in Jonesville, Michigan. Mopar Dinosaurs. Of course, that was George Real. So what do you do nowadays? Restoration specialties. just in case it helps at some point in the future. This is a 62. It's a door with all the hardware removed. This is where the vent window would normally be. And you can see we've got a cat whisker retainer there. And there. There. And you can see the rest of them. Because you've got the vent window here, and here's a 62 door. You can see how the vent window captures the cat whisker. Probably don't need those retaining clips. I just mentioned that because if they are too difficult for you to install, you can probably get away without them. And there you have it. New cat whisker installed. A note of installation. When you remove this screw, which you probably will have to do in order to get enough flex on the vent window, you'll hear a washer fall. That washer goes in between the window and the door, so it's a little difficult to install. I found it, if you have the window up, then you can reach in and get it, but there's no washer on that one. So let's put lubricating and a vapor barrier on the list, and then we can button it up. And there's your passenger side door, lubricated, and vapor barrier. And there's the passenger door, buttoned up. One odd thing, the door locks and unlocks with the handle control. You put the key in the door lock, you can lock it, but you can't unlock it. It just doesn't move far enough to trip it. The driver's side door works fine. I have to think about it. I don't see any adjustment. And, well, we can live with it.